Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to another segment of Coach Gurbani's a-sabad-a-day. The recitation is from Asa Mahalla Panjwa, Kar Pandrawa, Padtal. So the Bani is in Rag Asa. The composition is the fifth Guru, Guru Arjan, in the 15th beat, and nuanced by what is called a Padtal, which means variations on the same beat. Ik Oankar, Satgur Prasad, Bikar Maya Madh Soio, Suj Bhuj na Ave, Pakar Kes Jam Uthareo, Tad hi kar jave. Lob bikhe lage, Hir vit chit dukhahi, Khin bhangana ke maan mate, Asur jane nahi rahao. Ved शास्त्र जन पुकार हैं, सुनह नहीं डोरा, निपट बाजी हार मूका, पछोतायो मन पौरा. डाण सगल गैर वज्जह, परया दीवान लेखै ना परया. जह कारज रहे उल्हा, सोए काम ना करया. ऐसो जग बोहे गुर दिखायो, तो एक कीर्त गाया. मान तान तज सियाणप, शरण नानक आया. So the Guru here is talking about our dreamlike stupor, that the force of Maya exerts upon us, and the kind of aberrations and vices, if you will, or narcissistic engagement that it can cause us. Bikar Maya Madh Soio, Suj Bhuj na Ave. So in the midst of Maya are caused the aberrations of the mind, which put it to sleep. Bikar Maya Madh Soyo. In the midst of Maya, aberrations arise. Aberrations essentially mean that the mind wavers, because aberrations, Bikar, also means the defects of the mind, which are caused by the fact that the mind is never stable. So it loses its stability in Maya. So Bikar Maya Madh Soyo. Bikar Maya Madh Soyo. In the middle of Maya, defects arise, the defect being the fluctuation of the mind. Soyo puts it to sleep, it's mesmerized. And then Suj Bhuj na Ave. Awareness and discernment cannot dawn upon such a mind that is not stable. Suj, awareness, Bhuj, discernment, is lost upon this mind. And then when grabbed by the hair and awakened by the messenger of death, when that happens, Pakar kes jam uthareo. Pakar kes jam uthareo. Pakar, grab, to hold by the hair. Jam uthareo, awakened. Tad hi kar jave. Then the realization dawns that it is time to go home. That is to say, a mind that is mesmerized by the play of Maya and is in a state of aberration, meaning in a state of constant fluctuation, gets involved in the rat race, loses awareness, loses its sense of discernment, and is awakened only when it is jolted by the arrival of death. Then it realizes, oh goodness, it's time to go home, and too late. All along, it has been touched by the poison of greed, lobh bikya, and has become toxic, the mind. Bikya lag hai. What does it do? It covets what belongs to the other. It snatches what belongs to others and causes them hurt. Hir, with. Hir means to snatch, har lena. Hir with another's possession, chitta dukhaya, and to cause hurt. And it leads a toxic existence as a result, lobha bikhai. What it does not recognize is, asura jane nahi. Asura is one who is out of rhythm, out of step. It simply means that the mind is essentially out of control. What such a mind does not recognize, asur jane nahi khin panguna ke manamate, that it lives amidst a perishable world, that this world is going to perish. It could perish in an instant, but it does not realize this fact. And the Guru goes on to say, this mind is deaf to any suggestion. The Vedas, the learned texts, the scriptures, and devotees, the Jan of the self, they call out aloud, Ved, Sasata, Jan Pukare. What are they saying? They're trying to remind the mind that this is a perishable world. Don't cling to it. But the being is deaf to their warnings. Sune nahi dora, dora ho gaya. And then what happens? Nipat baji, when the game of life is over. Nipat is to complete your lifespan. When your lifespan is complete, the play is over and all is lost. Har mukha gaya sab kuch. Then you go crazy. The mind is filled with regret. Pachotayo manapaura. It goes crazy with regret. And for all this, the Guru says, you're paying a price. Dan sagala kair vajjah. You pay a price for causing the hurt. And it brings no credit to you in the court of consciousness. Parya divan lekhe na parya. Divan has multiple connotations. It means the court, an assembly. So in a literal sense, this universe, this world that we live in, is actually the court of the divine. So a person who has caused hurt all along, who's been greedy, who's been toxic, brings itself no credit in the court of consciousness, collective consciousness. People don't think about that person in complementary terms. We know that. Not only that, but in the court of its own consciousness, it cannot look at itself in the mirror, so to speak. So the Guru concludes by saying that when I sought the Gur enlightener, the Gur, Aso jag moh gur dikhayo, he showed me the state of the egoic mind, the manmukh. When I understood this from the Guru, then I chose to do just one thing. Tau ek kirat gaya. Ek kirat. And what was that? Says Nanak, I gave up all mental practices and bodily disciplines. Man, tan, tajasyanap. I gave up all sense of self, conceit, pride. I gave up mental guiles, tajasyanap. And what did I do? I sought shelter in Gur wisdom. Saran Nanak Aya. So you see, Gurmat tells us that we are really living in a dream-like stupor. Half asleep, half awake. That is brought on by design, by the way. It's meant to be this way. It's our default state. By the bewitching force of Maya. Maya acts on the mind and causes it to fluctuate from one end of the pendulum, as it were, to the other. This is Bikar, Vikara. So it doesn't stand still. And this is what causes it to chase pleasure at all costs. And that causes one to become engaged in coveting others' possessions. So the Guru has drawn a picture, because you see, this wisdom comes to us in many forms. Here it is telling us the toxic effects of being overly greedy. Avarice is what we have to guard against. On that note, Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.